point where I can pin baste my quilt, my little wall hanging here. It's just a small little wall hanging. I've chosen the backing, which what I've chosen, I went shopping in my black and white area over there, and I chose a black and white gingham. This is 100% cotton. A lot of this is more of like a homespun. A lot of gingham is a poly cotton blend. This isn't. This I pulled one that was a poly cotton blend. Not that it's really doesn't bother me because it's a wall hanging anyway. I'm going to put a hanging sleeve here, but this is a cotton. This is a cotton, more of a homespun, black and white. You're not going to see it, but I choose to back my quilts, all my quilts, with a print. Now, the one thing I'm aware of, to a certain extent, as much as I can be, is after I pin baste it, or after I've cut out the piece of gingham, or the piece of plaid, and then the piece of batting. It's a small quilt. I only had a small piece of black and white, and you can see how small it got. It got here. But what I'm aware of is making sure that when I trim away the batting and secure the sides with my stitch, that the pattern is not skewed. Now, I did notice after I was working on this, and you probably noticed it too, that my chicken wire is not straight. And it's interesting because I ripped it. As you saw, I just ripped it. And so the fabric grain is straight. The printing wasn't straight. I'm not bothered, not at all. But it just goes a little bit from a whole chicken wire here to another one up here. But my eye, I just see black. It reads black from a distance. That's a small thing. But this, and again, it doesn't really matter. But I like the fact that my border, my backing will be nice and straight. So I've done the same. I'll do the same thing on this side. I just pull it up to where the binding will go, just to make sure that it's fairly, that line, it's fairly straight. If you turn over and see the back. And I'll do the same thing with the bottom. Again, it's a very small thing, and it won't be absolutely perfect, but it's not like 4 lines off. That's that. So now what I will do is I'm going to go over, I've pin basted this. I use 2-inch pins. And I've pin basted it, I don't know, every 6 or 7 inches. I don't use a tremendous amount of pins. And I only pinned it once in there, on the chicken, once here and there. I'm not going to mess with that too much because some of the glue's coming up. And again, I have to just be very careful when I take it over to my machine. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to thread my machine with red. And I'm going to secure all of this down. I'll put my camera down and I'll show you. I'm going to secure all of that down, and then I'm going to take a bit of gold and secure the feathers, the shredded fabric on the feet, just to get that over and done with. And then I'll just free motion quilt this. Shouldn't take me long. Now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to free motion quilt the black chicken wire because it has a chicken wire design. So I might just, I don't know what I'll do. And again, because it's a wall hanging, this will be quilted quite densely to secure all this down. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to, I'm certainly not going to put silver or gray thread in and do the chicken wire. That would take me forever. Not doing that. But a black, you could see it. You could see. So I have to think that. I'll have to think that. It won't be much to quilt. It won't be much to quilt. And this I'll probably just do. I'll just do a little free motion quilting on the chicken. But anyway, I'll put my camera down and I will show you that what I'm going to do. Okay, thanks. I've threaded my machine with red, and I've just very carefully brought this whole thing over. And because it's small, I'm not shushing it all into my into the bed of my machine, I'm just going to concentrate on trying to just secure this down. I brought my threads up. I'm using white thread on the bobbin. It's okay. My tension's good. And I'm just going to have my machine set for free motion quilting. And I'm just going to go over all this stuff and try to secure it down. No real rhyme or reason here. It was glued, but not great, as you can see. And my stitches are very tight together. But for this, I'm okay with that. Trying to get it down as much as I can. Oops. Without losing the feathery look. Obviously, the beauty of free motion quilting is you can go back and forth, and I don't mind that it's like frayed. There's, you know, frayed bits and feathery bits. It's just securing down as much as I can. Now this is interesting. My son Jordan came in, who has chickens, and he came in and he said, "Oh, Mom, you have to put this thing." I'm working backwards. This thing up behind his ear or behind his eye. So I'll show you. I'll show you that when I get to it. And I'm like, oh boy, all of these experts. But he has roosters and stuff. It's funny. So I'm like, I don't know, chicken's a chicken. But I like this. I don't want to do it. I don't want to make it too flat. You can't even really see the stitching, which is good. Just going around and around. So when it's hanging up, it's not shredding all of this. It's not losing all of these shreds here. Yeah. I'll do some more red. Come on there you go. And over there. Oops. Push that under that. I don't need it to be so flat. There's a little hunk that I lose all the texture. But there's a little bit there. That's good. But I do need it to be secure, all of these bits. This was that bit behind the eye. And I'll just put that there for a second. Now I'm just going to use, I'm sort of working blind here. I'll just come down here and start stitching. I'm going to turn it around and that's okay. Oops. Yeah. Oh, there's a hunk that came off there. It's all right. Oh, that's getting caught in my presser foot. There we go. So as you can see, I'm just stitching these bits down. And that's the sort of the hairiest part of the collage quilting. I might have to add another few little bits of red because, yeah, I'll probably have to add some more red. There's a bit. I'll just stitch down there, and it adds all of the stitching adds to the feathery quality. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And come around there. Now I will change my thread. And what I'm going to do when I'm done with this, of course, I'm going to clean up all around here. I'll get a lint roller and brush and clean that real nice. Come over here. Now I've used a variegated, you can't really tell. I put a variegated thread. A red, what is it? It's sulky. A sulky 100% variegated viscose rayon thread in this red, orange, sort of paler to do that. So, yeah. So if you can probably hear that and feel that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and get my glue stick and figure out where his eye is or whatever. Oh, I have to do in here. Maybe I'll just follow the swirls. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll be back. Yeah, so all of this red stuff here, I don't have to secure it tremendously because it is like feathers. and I don't want to stitch the daylights out of it to flatten all of the texture. So I'm gonna come back. I've started to thread paint here with yellow, and you can see it's looking a little bit rough, but it's looking like feathers. It is raw edge. When you get up close to it, it's sort of like a bit of a mess, but not really. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way. Now what I'm doing is here, I'm doing the blue, and some of these really aren't glued down, but that's okay. That adds texture, right? So, but as you can see, I'm going in the way of the plume here, okay, of his tail thing. So, but also what I'm doing is I'm going back and forth in like a feather pattern while I'm also stitching down the pieces here. I have pretty much finished free motion quilting all of this, my rooster down. Oops, have to cut that off. And up close it looks pretty sloppy, but it's from there it's awesome. All of that thread painting is following the lines. I did all of these little shreds. Now what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a like I usually do on my black. I'm going to be taking a piece of packing tape, of tape, and going over and getting all of the little threads, especially on my feet, my needle's down there, on my feet. You see all the little shreds there, and all over, and it really does tidy up a quilt when you're working with any quilt, I find. Let alone a collage quilt, especially if you're dealing with raw edges. I mean, look at all of that, all of the stuff. So now what I'm doing is I was in a bit of a quandary as to how to quilt my black. I have put in black thread, and all I'm doing is I'm free motion quilting. I'm just free motion quilting in a basically a wavy stitch, just following this chain link or the chicken wire. You can't really even see it. I've done the whole thing. It's only taken me a little while. Not every one. I've done it like every second one. So, or if I've done it every one, I can't really tell. Just sort of come up here. You can't tell. I'm just doing a wavy stitch on the black. I'm not going on the silver of the gray of the chain link. I have pretty much finished my background and my rooster here, free motion quilting it. Now I'm just doing the checkerboard, and again, as you can see, these are they're to make them fit my border across. Some of them are smaller, some of them are larger. That's fine. I'm going to be doing this back and forth. I'll show you with I'm going to be using my free motion quilting instead of a straight stitch. So I break my threads up and take a few things, and on the black, again, you can't see it because it's black, but on the black I'm just basically doing a straight line, although my checkerboards aren't that straight. I am finishing up my Rooster quilt, my Rooster Collage quilt, and I'm just putting on the final touch. I'm putting on this little tiny baby rickrack just around here in this this seam here. And the trick with the rickrack, I find, is to just literally lay it on. You don't pull at all, or else you can really pull your whatever you're putting it on. You can really ruffle it up. So I'm almost pushing it back under my presser foot. And I'm just using a straight stitch right down the middle of it, just laying it in this seam here, and I like it. Elliot wasn't quite sure whether he would like it, but we came to the conclusion it just needs that little tiny, there's a before and there's the after, just needs that little tiny bit of relief. I love rickrack. It's amazing what a little tiny trim can do to a quilt. I mean, look at it. It's a tiny, tiny little piece of trim, and yet it does so much. So I'm just laying it right in the seam, not tugging at all, just laying it down. I've quilted everything. I've put the hanging sleeve on there. I've put the hanging sleeve on. I've bound it. I bound it with a really pretty mottled, like a mottled batik, which has greens and blues and reds and purples in it. Yeah, so, and then I put the eye on it, but I'll show you everything finished when I finish putting this rickrack on. This is the last thing I'm doing, using my white thread and just laying it in that seam. That off, and let me see if I can tuck this underneath. Yeah, I can tuck that under. And I will back stitch it. And there we go. I quilted all of these little checkerboards, and then I just did a little checkerboard in the corners there. You can't really even see that quilting there. And I did do a little bit of free motion quilting in here, just to add a bit of relief there. But oh, and then I also did a blanket stitch. I got Malia's little baby machine out. I did a red blanket stitch around there, just to secure the red down. So here is my quilt, all finished, and I'll put it up, and I'll display it for you to see.
Wow. Look at that border, the country gentleman.
So here's my husband holding it up for me.
A cock. A cockerel.
A cockerel in England. So my little wall hanging is done, and I was going to hang it up on the fence over there, but it was blowing too hard. So I'm just here in my backyard.
And here we are.
And here's Ian. And Ian really wants to be doing this, don't you?
I love it. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
What do you like about this?
This really looks like feathers.
Ah, there you go, folks.
Wow, it's really beautiful.
What is this called?
Applique.
This is called Collage Raw Edge Applique. As you can see, I've done my blanket stitch here. I have a bead for his eye, like Elliot said. And I liked putting the baby rickrack on there.
Very pretty.
And I've bound it with this real pretty mottled sort of a batik. And just turn it around, see the back? And there is the hanging frame up there, hanging sleeve, and as hanging sleeve, I should say. And as you can tell, you can actually see through the viewfinder. I'm looking at it. You can see the shape of the rooster there. The rest isn't quite quilted as densely as that, but it's hanging It's hanging pretty nice, isn't it, Ian?
We've got a windy day here.
Yeah, we do have a windy day. That's why I couldn't put it. I need you.
You needed me.
I need you, Anne.
You needed me.
Yeah, for something. All right. There you go, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.